Yeah, hi Isha, is it audible? Okay. Then let me share my screen and I can start. Okay. Actually, this is Vamshi, and I have total 9+ years of experience. And let me share my screen so that it will be very easy for me to project, and you can talk more info what actually I'm doing from past 9 years. Actually, this is Jalasri Vamshi. You can call me Vamshi. And total, I have 9+ years of experience in IT industry. And then like current role that I'm playing is a Scrum Master Technical Project Manager. And I have completed many certifications in Scrum, Safe, and also there are some free certifications I have completed based on my interest, which is Kickoff, Agile, AI and Agility, Generative AI for Project Managers, Scrum Foundation, and these are all like some kind of a badges that I have received from various organizations. And also, like coming to my career journey, I started my career at TCS as a Java developer and then transitioned into technical lead. Again, I got an opportunity working as a Scrum Master project manager. And recently, like I have moved from TCS to another organization. And then currently, if I'm talking like the tech stack that I was involved, I mean, complete out of my journey, like it is a Java, Spring Boot, microservices, SQL, like I had experience in handling like Phoenix, HBase, continuous integration deployment on all this stuff, ETL. And currently I'm handling three Scrum teams. I would like to say like 24 dev team, three product owners, and me as Scrum Master project manager. And also like these are my responsibilities being a scrum master project manager. Generally I do like what exactly project planning, managing the cross functionality functional teams, and also like managing the release management, like we do releases on quarter basis that I handle. And also communication management, stakeholder management, like since I'm currently handling three scrum teams, we have three stakeholders, I connect with all those people, risk management, all this stuff. And also like generally I divide my responsibility to three parts: one to my team, to the product owner, to the organization. Like I need to work as a true leader, team protection, psychological safety, coaching and training. And also I provide a lot of I mean there are a lot of improvements on daily basis, I used to work on those also. And also towards the product owner, I collaborated with my product owners, transparency, coaching part, reports and gathering, all this stuff I take care. To the organization, there are a lot of stuff, organization initiatives, reporting, coaching, all this stuff I do. And also like expertise and character traits, I'm currently handling three scrum teams, more into agile, and also like a project management and also coaching part. And also these are my skills and the competencies, like servant leadership, uh, where I need to play a role of a true leader, and also like conducting agile workshops. And even organization based, I have conducted a lot of agile workshops related to principles, all this stuff. And also conflict resolution, coaching and the team building and the stakeholder management and the facilitation skills. And also like these are my some certifications I have completed. Like you can see like from safe certified and CSM, PSM, and then basis Scrum, Jira, Confluence, Trello. These are my certifications. Okay, coming to my training part, like even like out of based on the interest, whenever there is something, if I feel like I can try to give some kind of a training. As of now, like I've already given some kind of a training to the students who is some experience in as a non IT to IT. I have given like one to one also, and then few organizations I worked as a part time. And then like generally, if I talk like more about the training part, generally I divide some kind of uh, into some kind of a strategy I generally follow. That is, in first one I always try to give what is introduction to agile and scrum, why we required agile and scrum. It's like if you see 10 years back, like when I started my career, I too worked in the traditional, like it's not like agile, it's complete into waterfall model. So initially I would like to say like what is the need of a waterfall, and what is the advantages and disadvantages, pros and cons, and then why we require to move to agile. And then like what in agile, like what exactly scrum, what exactly made the organizations to follow agile. If you see that today there are a lot of organizations where they are following complete agile, because it's like even the stakeholder is not at all interesting waiting for 7 months or 8 months to deliver the initial version of the product. So that's the reason they are moving to complete agile. And then we can try, I can try to highlight what is agile manifesto, agile principles, scrum values, scrum principles, these and all, like the importance, like see, if you're using complete agile project in a agile methodology in the project, obviously we need to follow. We have a manifesto, okay, which says like individuals interaction over process and tools, customer collaboration is more important. All this stuff will come into picture. And also, if I want to talk like more about the principles of the business people and the developers must work together. So by explaining all these principles with the real-time examples, like I always have an habit taking some kind of a principle and explaining with the real scenarios, so that the students or I mean the people who is coming to our classes obviously will get more interest. What is the need of agile? And also obviously those people needs to clear the certified scrum master, CSM. We need to explain the importance of CSM or PSM. That's how we need to get the people to get the calls, like even during the interview process. First, getting the knowledge on agile scrum is more important, and then like interview preparation. In interview preparation also, I generally help the students to get more interview calls by clearing some kind of a certifications, and also preparation of the resume, and also like preparing the real time scenario based questions. I have nearly some 80 to 90 questions. Out of 90, how we need to explain each question in an interview, that also like that is part of the curriculum. And in general, I explain with the real time scenarios, and then try to get best of it. And also like if I initially the theoretical wise, first one is like introduction to agile and scrum, and then what is agile methodologies, like what exactly we have agile methodologies like stream programming, and also we can say how we are going to track the project, and also what is the principles here involves in the crystal, and also what is the life cycle. So every organization in every project follow a life cycle that may vary, sprint duration, everything may vary, but for each people we need to give a blueprint, how many how many sprints we can try to have, what is the capacity, what is the velocity, and then what, being a scrum master, what we need to track on daily basis. All this stuff we can try to discuss in this in this particular field called agile methodology. And also like Yeah, sorry, some issue from power cut. Yeah, sorry for that. I'm just sharing my screen again. Yeah. Actually, like initially, like I tried highlighting introduction to Agile and Scrum, and then Agile methodologies. In the Agile methodologies, when we are trying to discuss more, we need to have a pattern in how organization follow the Scrum. Like we have 2 weeks of sprint. What kind of patterns we need to take? Like it is a capacity, velocity, and what kind of a in the coming videos, like in the coming next, I would like to highlight. We can follow what kind of a reports we need to gather being a scrum master. And also we have some scrum roles in every organization that has stakeholders, and also what is the product owners does, and as what is techniques that the product owner follow, like it is a Moscow or Cannon model. Okay, all these are the prioritization requirements generally, like I used to give as part of a process. And also like what is a scrum master do, that is also more important to explain to the associates, right? And also we can try to have the life cycle of the scrum master, and then what scrum master do on daily basis. And also like what is the role of a manager, is like many people get confused between the manager and the scrum master. So it's better to give some kind of a tip to the students or associates, difference between the manager and the scrum master also. And then the important stuff I would like to say is the scrum ceremonies. So being a scrum master, we have like five ceremonies. Like we can say like initially it is a sprint planning. Everything is a time box based on the situations, based on the timings that the organization give. We need to have a separate time box. So sprint planning, daily stand up, and also and also there is like a sprint demo, sprint retro. All this we call it a sprint. In one sprint, we need to follow all these scrum ceremonies. Okay, as I mentioned here, daily scrum, sprint review, and also sprint retro. See what is the techniques that we need to take to make the retro efficiency. So what kind of best practices being a scrum master I need to follow to make more effective? That also I would like to discuss. And then like what are the scrum artifacts? Like one is prod backlog, sprint backlog, the difference between these two, what is the user story, and also how well we can write the user stories, what is the hierarchy, epics, like we will be having futures and then user stories and then issues, bugs, these and all, like some kind of a Jira, we follow a hierarchy, right? So while explaining all this stuff, we can try to use the well versed of Jira also. So parallelly, we can give training for Jira also. So by using all this stuff in Jira, that will help the students to understand more about Jira, and also like splitting how we can split a big user story into multiple chunks. That also we can try to explain in the Scrum artifacts, and also best practices. Like obviously, we need to being a scrum master, if I join a new organization, obviously like organization try to expect some kind of a best practices what you can bring to the table. So that's how like every student or associate in the in the team have to learn what kind of best practices we can try to implement. So based on the experience, we can follow definition of done, definition of ready, and also like how we are going to plan the sprint, and what kind of a quality that we can ensure, and also what kind of continuous integration, continuous deployment, and also pair programming. All this stuff we can try to explain individual to the team. So that's how like they can, once they join a scrum master in any organization, they can try to use these best practices as an example and then try to get benefit out of it. And also scrum planning, we can say, as I mentioned, like we have capacity, velocity, sprint planning. Okay, and also we need to understand like being a scrum master, main thing is release planning, because there are, say again, based on the organization to organization, we can have how many, what kind of a release planning that the organization has. But since out of my experience, I can try to give example on how we are going to follow the release planning, whether it is a quarter basis, what kind of steps we need to follow, what kind of a best practices we need to implement for release planning. All this stuff we can discuss. And also what is the velocity, capacity, what is the commitment towards the team during the sprint planning. And also we need to keep in mind, like before finalizing the plan, that is more important, there are some scenarios where the team can go or plan leaves, unplanned leaves. All these picture we can have a discussion during the classes. And then scrum estimation, like there are some kind of estimation techniques we have, like affinity estimation, story point estimation. There are, see, overestimation, underestimation, and also like all this stuff we can try to discuss for analyzing the user story. Like it all, we have a simple, we will take as a reference of one user story and then give the story points, whether it is a 2 story point, 3 story point, 5 Fibonacci series. Like it, we can say like modified Fibonacci series. Why modified Fibonacci series? All this discussion will also come there. And also how a scrum master can monitor the scrum projects. Like we have some kind of a definition, do's, don'ts, what kind of a charts we can prepare. It is a burn up chart, burn down chart, cumulative flow diagram, and also velocity chart. These are the some kind of a parameters where we can try to monitor the scrum projects. And also even to the stakeholders, to the organizations, they try to give or share all this stuff to the organizations. Like when me as scrum master, like obviously organization will expect some kind of a reports to show. So how a scrum master will try to project all this stuff, we can try to explain from the Jira, and then they can try to get benefit of out of it. And also there are a lot of advanced concepts in a scrum. One is a scrum of scrum. Like it, when we are trying to Scrum in the sense we generally talk if it is a small projects. If I want to talk more large projects, obviously it is a safe. But even in Scrum, we can try to say when you have like Scrum using on large projects, it is a safe. We can have Scrum of Scrum, and also how we are going to maintain the teams, what kind of a best practices. So say for example, there are a lot of see these are not like I kept how for the real time scenarios, like say for example if some people in India, some people in US, they, say some people in Bangalore, some people in Chennai, some people in Hyderabad, how a scrum master handle all these scenarios. Say for example PO is not available, PO is in US, so he is not available for sprint planning. So how a scrum master can do this? And also there are some scenarios where the scrum proton is not interested joining the calls. How a scrum master will achieve the scenario? So all this stuff we can try to discuss, because those are the real-time scenarios that many people will face during the scrum. And also during the interview questions, these are all like theoretical discussions. Maybe it may go for some days. Next, obviously, once the theoretical knowledge, once the student gains the knowledge, obviously we need to train in interview preparation. So for interview preparation, obviously there are a lot of I have already some kind of a questions that interviews is asking. I have gathered from different organizations, and then based on that, like we can how a associate can give best of it. For real-time scenarios, obviously we need to use agile principles, scrum values, all what is artifacts, all this stuff we need to use in a picture. We need to explain to the associate using a smart technique, like what kind of actions for a scrum master will do. For any, like I will take one sample scenario, and then we can try to what kind of actions can a scrum master can apply in order to achieve that situation. And also that is many interviewers will try to ask these kind of a scenario questions, because we can say because these are really important, and also they will check our knowledge. They will check, it's not about only knowledge, they will check our experience, real time experience, how we can handle in such a scenario. Let me give a small scenario. Say for example there is a product owner who is not cooperative to the team. So what, this is one of the challenge. So what kind of actions I can take as scrum master? Instead of for a scrum master, I need to go to the PO and explains the options, how it is affecting the team. And also I need to facilitate one-to-one conversation. That's what agile principle says. Face-to-face conversation is very important. And also obviously by giving some kind of inputs to the product owner, obviously the product owner makes available, he's available, and then I need to use the agile values. Individuals interaction of person tools is important, which I use at the direct communication. And also customer collaboration is very important. So obviously the PO must be well collaboratively engaged with the stakeholders to achieve the results. And also we need to use the agile principles, scrum principle, transparency, like clearly I need to communicate the impact that the team is facing. And also if the still the scrum master is proton is not interested to engage with the team members, obviously I need to escalate. That is very rare scenario. But these are the pillars I need to use scrum values for any real-time scenarios. How a scrum master can approach, I have a separate techniques, separate answers and questions. So when we try to explain all this stuff to the students, obviously the students can try to get a lot of benefit, and then try to present in interviews. That's how like they can achieve very easily in the real-time interviews. This is more about the scrum master training, first theoretically and then interview preparation. Yeah. Isha, like this is the one I wanted to cover. If you want, like, if you're looking more into any topics wise, I'm very happy to share the knowledge on that. Uh, is it audible, Isha? Okay, thank you.